Hi there, everybody. It's Eugene Ebner, and I am at the infamous Sardi's in the magical New York City. This guy right here, who's an award-winning book writer and lyricist, Mr.
Correct.
Stephen Cole.
Yay, great to see you.
How are you today?
Just great. Yes, I've got a Cosmo, so it's
Well, you're
really good.
doing well, and you're at Sardi's.
Yes, it's always fun.
And we're here to discuss today, my understanding is debuting two musical theater creations
Correct.
coming up.
They are.
Merman's Apprentice and Casper the Friendly Musical.
Yes.
Perfect time, especially for that one coming into October.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Merman's is going to be in Sonoma, California. People keep asking me, where's Sonoma? It's just above San Francisco.
Right.
That's wine country.
It is.
So I always say we're going to have wine, Merman, and song.
How can you not? I mean, are you going to fly out for it?
Oh yeah, I'm going on the 16th. We're going to be there for David Evans, who's the composer, and I will be there for 2 weeks before the opening, and then we'll be there for the opening, and it's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, that's so cool how you can just create with different people and tell stories. Did you know from Little Up that you were going to be doing this?
When I was a little boy, I was a performer first, but I did write my first musical at 15. Got it produced at 16.
See, there you go.
So that kind of set the stage for later on when after I retired from acting or performing. I wasn't a great actor. I was a great performer. And I just went headlong into working with great collaborators and getting my shows on. And I've been very lucky. 14 of my musicals have been produced.
That is fantastic. Congratulations. And we were talking off camera that you've had, around 3 off-Broadway?
3 off-Broadway shows at least, I think. We've got After the Fair.
Mm-hmm. That one's the one I'm familiar with.
The Road to Qatar, which is about my experience with David Crane we wrote the first American musical to premiere in the Middle East.
Cool.
And once we wrote that musical and had that experience, we wrote a musical about the musical.
There you go.
And then Inventing Mary Martin, which was a wonderful off-Broadway review about her for her 100th birthday. She wasn't there, but her family
right,
was.
but celebrating her
Yeah.
and her legacy. How do you decide who you're going to work with, or does it organically happen? Do people reach out to you? Do you reach out to them? Have these been some of your creating partners for a while?
Yeah, I mean, I try to find the very best composers in New York, and I've been very lucky from the beginning. And from the beginning, I had 1 or 2 or 3 actually at the same time, because I knew that some people worked slower, some people worked faster, and I found out that if I put a lot of shows on the burners, you never know which one was going to boil over.
That's true.
And so with different collaborators, that was possible. And over the years, I've sought out some people, and sometimes with David Crane, literally, it started with an email that said, "We want you to write musical, how much?"
Nice.
And they put me together with him, and he turned out to be fabulous. And now we've written a show called Go in Hollywood, and we're actually leaving tomorrow to do a reading of it in Seattle. So that's our newest show. We did The Road to Qatar. So you never know where collaborators will come from, but I've sought them out. Clabe Richardson, who is passed away since I wrote The Night of the Hunter with, and I literally looked in the phone book because I knew he wrote The Grass Harp, which was a Broadway favorite of mine. It was a cult hit, and I found him in the phone book and said, "You want to write a show?" And we started working together. We have The Night of the Hunter, which is about to go under commercial option, which is exciting.
Oh, very exciting. And being in New York City is the best place to be. And then,
Well, I
then
think
like
you
you said,
have to.
you travel
But
different
no,
places.
you keep going everywhere else.
Right,
Exactly.
that's the thing, because you want it to be
We're going to
nationally.
Sonoma, we're going to Cincinnati, we're going to Seattle, yeah.
And the ones that are debuting now, Sonoma is the Merman's
Right.
Apprentice, and then Casper, the Friendly Musical, is going to be in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati at the Children's Theater of
I bet the
Cincinnati.
kids love that.
It's going to be wonderful.
Adults too. I'm actually intrigued by it because I love Halloween. I love
Well,
fall.
you know, we wrote it under commission from the Pittsburgh Civic Light Opera, and it was my idea to write a star part for some diva, and
Cheetah?
we got Cheetah Rivera.
That's
I was
fantastic.
so lucky to work with her and to know her as a friend, she did a whole big tour around the country, and then it would lie dormant for a while until this theater came along and said, let's do a more child-friendly version of it without cheating. and we're doing it now, and it's kind of gotten down to the essence of the story, and we always wanted to call it the Friendly Musical, and they didn't want to do it back then, and now we are.
Now you are.
Now we are.
I did notice that. I noticed on the website
that.
with Cheetah,
Yes.
didn't have that.
It was
and
just
now it does.
Casper the Musical. Now it's Casper the Friendly Musical, which I find
Which
amusing.
ties in very, it's humorous, like you
It's
said.
the ghost.
But it does. I went right to that, I think, naturally.
Yep.
Because of that. That's awesome. So, a lot on your plate. What are some of your goals that you still have? I mean, do you have stars in your eyes in the sense of wanting to write for Broadway? I mean, that's probably a silly question.
Of course. Yeah. Well, you get shows on wherever you can.
Right, and then you see what
hope
happens.
what's going to happen. The Night of the Hunter, which got on in the New York Music Theater Festival, and then in a big production in Texas, a big production in San Francisco, never got to New York in the form it should have. And now there's a producer who wants to bring it here. So after all these years, and with a late dead collaborator, I'm so excited about getting another chance, and you never know. So yeah, I have that, and I also have branched out into short stories, and I have a novel sitting on an agent's desk. I'm afraid to call him up and see if he liked it or not, but it's sitting there, and we're waiting for that. So writing is writing for me, and I have a
it's
new
your
show.
passion.
Yeah,
And you're brilliant at it, and you allow it to open up to where it's supposed to be. But like you said, you're in one of the entertainment hubs of the United States and the world, really. And so it can lead to where it's going. And I personally feel, and anyone that's watching this, when you are creative and you have a passion, it's showing up, putting yourself out there, and staying dedicated to your craft.
Absolutely.
And Stephen, it sounds like that's exactly what you're doing with success on your belt.
Yeah.
But there's all forms of success, and I don't think, of course, we have the ultimate of, as we climb up the ladder, they say, right, so to speak. But really, when you're creative and you can introduce and debut your work, it touches people all over. It doesn't matter what theater or street it's located on, in my opinion.
I'm thrilled that After the Fair was just done in Indianapolis this year, and it went really, really well. And it was the version that I did as a concert for the 25th anniversary here in New York. So that show has a new resurgence.
Exactly.
And things come back. I don't think any of my stuff is dated so that it can't be done again. And you just keep trying and working on new stuff. But less and less new now that I'm doing, getting the older stuff back to where it should be. But Merman's Apprentice is brand new, and I'm so excited because that will eventually get east again. We did it at Birdland with Clea Blackhurst, who was a genius.
You know what? Actually, now that's going ding ding. I remember that.
And we had a CD of the Birdland cast album. I mean, who gets a cast album of a Birdland concert?
Not many.
We did.
You do.
And that's what got it to these people in Sonoma who were doing it. And we have interest here in New York too. And it's always about money.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Give us money.
Right? It's so true. Well, I'm very excited for you. And I think anyone that's watching, what's the best way? Your website?
Oh, my website, www.stephencolewriter.org.
See, I'm glad I asked.
StephenColeWriter.org.
And then obviously in the certain cities in Cincinnati or in Sonoma, they'll be able to see that locally.
Oh yeah. So if you're in the area of San Francisco area, it's Sonoma Arts Live is doing Merman's Apprentice.
Great.
And we open on the 27th of September. And then Casper at this Children's Theater Cincinnati they're having their 100th anniversary. We're opening their 100th season. Amazing.
See?
And they're doing Matilda, Annie, and Charlie Brown, and Casper. Yay! All the cartoon musicals.
Anyone watching this from Cincinnati or Sonoma, come out and see his work.
And I'll be there, so come say hello.
Come and say hello to him. And if not, he'll be here at Sardi's in New York when he's not on the road.
Having one of these fabulous Cosmos. Yes.
If you haven't been to Sardi's, you got to check it out.
Yes, the bar is great. They've got great caricatures. People ask me, where is my caricature? And I go, it's in the men's room.
It's coming. Well,
yeah.
Everyday people celebrate it.
Absolutely.
It really is.
It's a fun place.
It is. Well, thanks so much for spending a little time with me today. And congrats for everything that's happening. Continued success.
Great. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you. Swirling through life, spreading joy and magic. It's Sardi's with Stephen Cole.